Hey everyone, it's Maya and welcome back to my channel and welcome to the first video of my back to school series. When I'm filming this, I start school in 10 days, so I kind of need to get these videos filmed and posted for you guys. And to start off the series, I thought I would give you guys some middle school advice. I'm going into my freshman year, so I'm fully done with middle school and I have so much advice for you guys. So sit back, relax, get your popcorn, get your soda, and let's get into the video. I have my notebook here and it has loads of advice in a couple different categories. Of course, I'm going to tell you guys to watch the whole video, but the categories I'm going to be talking about include friends, grades, drama, relationships, and some bonus pieces of advice. Let's go ahead and start off with friends. I feel like when you're a 6th grader and you're going into middle school, your first thought is, how am I going to make friends? Not everyone from your elementary school is going to be going to your middle school, and for me, I knew absolutely nobody. And my first piece of advice will be to be yourself. Being yourself is really important because it is the way that friends are going to come to you. At the end of the day, you are what you attract, and you don't want to be really negative and sad because you're probably not going to attract anybody. But if you do bring friends in, they're not going to be the friends that you actually want to be around. Another big thing for gaining friends and talking to people and just bringing more people into your life at school would be to compliment others. When people compliment my outfit, it immediately sparks conversation. They might ask where it's from or my style, or if someone compliments my hair, I might say, oh, yours is pretty too, and you guys just start talking. One of the biggest things with friendships in middle school is that you have to talk to people, and complimenting somebody is such a great way to spark conversation with somebody, and you guys might end up finding common interests based off of what you guys compliment each other on. My third tip for making friends in middle school is going to be joining clubs. Other than just complimenting people and talking to others, joining clubs is the next best way to make new friends. For example, your school might have an art club. Everyone that joins this club is going to like art, so you guys already have a common interest that you guys can build off of and spark conversation on. In the friends category, it's pretty much all about just conversing with others. But when you're in a club, you guys might also meet up outside of school and have so many events, so you're gonna get really close to the people that you are surrounded by. And clubs in middle school are pretty small and tight-knit, so you're definitely going to make really good friends in your clubs. And my last tip in this category is be friendly to everyone. You don't want to be that person that is side-eyeing everyone, or if somebody smiles at you, you don't want to be all angry and giving them a stank face. You want to be really nice to everyone, even though you might not like them and they may not like you. When you're walking in the hallway, just say hey to people, compliment people like I already said, and just have a smile on your face. It can really light up somebody's day. And then you also might gain friends because people might see you and be like, oh, she looks really nice, let me go talk to her. Other people might be like, oh, I definitely want to be this girl's friend. When you're smiling and you're friendly and you have a good attitude and you're just talkative, you're going to have so many friends. Okay guys, so now that we covered friends, you're probably thinking about what are grades in your classes going to be like in middle school. Well, they're definitely going to be a lot harder. I would say your 6th grade year is going to be one of two things. It might just be a little bit more challenging than 5th grade. It honestly depends on the teachers that you have and the intensity of the courses that you are taking, but it could also be a big step up and just a life shocker, honestly. For me, 6th grade wasn't that hard when you compare it to all of middle school, but it was definitely a wake-up call in the fact that school is getting harder and my classes are a lot more challenging. I have so many tips for you guys when it comes to keeping up with your classes and having good grades, so let's get into them. Starting off, we have use a planner or some type of organizational system. Planners are honestly one of my favorite things when I remember to use them, because I will take them out in my class and write down my homework assignments for that day, when they're due, when tests are coming up, when quizzes are coming up. When I get home, I can look at my whole spread and I know exactly what I need to work on. And having an organizational system can replace the planner, or it can be an addition to it. For me personally, I always have one folder in my backpack that is my homework folder. On the left hand side, I like to have all of my homework for that week, and then the right hand side is stuff that is already old and graded. And And then in the middle prong parts, I like to put lined paper because you never know when you're going to need it. When it comes to that organizational system, it makes it so much easier. I also think it is really important to prioritize your work, and you need to work first before you play. I know the whole work before play concept is honestly kind of old, but I think it is really good, and I wanted to bring it up. In middle school, people are going to want to hang out. You're going to want to go on social media. You're going to want to do so many things. There's honestly so many things that you might want to do, but you need to remember that school comes first. Of course, sometimes I do have to put school on the back burner if I have some type of event I have to go to, but for the most part, I try and make sure that my school gets done before I do anything else. Literally every time I film, a light always has to go out, and I rarely film with lights on. Okay, I'm back. I think I was talking about the importance of working first before you play, and just how you want to always do your schoolwork before you do anything else. It's pretty self-explanatory, so we're gonna move on to the next thing, which is studying and revising your lessons. Revision and revising, which is the same thing, is something that I had never heard of until I was watching some of my UK friends' videos, and I noticed that they do this thing called revision. I'm honestly not the best person to talk about this because I've only done it a handful of times, and it's not something that we do in the US, I don't think. But when I revise, I like to read back through my material and look at all my worksheets, and then I'll do like revision 1, and I'll have a whole paper where I just take detailed notes on the most important things that I'm gonna need to know. I like to cut out a lot of the other stuff that isn't the most important, and I try and focus on things that I'm going to be tested on. So I look on practice test websites as well, and just try and find the most important facts and squeeze them all onto one sheet of paper. I definitely recommend that you guys look into revising and try it out for yourselves this school year, but you can also just do the plain Jane thing, which is just studying, going through your stuff, reading it, making flashcards, using Quizlets, GameKits, Kahoots. People who haven't heard of those probably think I'm crazy, but they are really good websites, so I definitely recommend you guys look them up. Just make sure you study somehow, because you don't want to be that person that comes into class on test day being like, I didn't study. Don't be that girl. You really don't want to be that girl. And last but not least, I want you to know that grades aren't everything. Of course, I think that you should try your very best and do well on that test. I feel like that flowed a little bit. You should always try and do as well as you can, but if sometimes you get to be on the test, that's fine. And if you were out really late one night and you turn in a homework assignment late, like, you're fine. Grades aren't everything, and you don't need to stress so much over them. I was an A student up until like the 4th grade, and I got 1B, and I thought life was over. I realized that I can still do well in my classes without school fully taking over my life, and now I get A's and B's as well. I've never gotten a C. I hope it stays that way. Getting A's and B's is okay, and getting a C on a test is fine if your grade is still good. Like, you don't need to stress out all the time. Of course, we all have days where we're really stressed at school. I just don't think it should be an everyday sort of thing. So yeah, now we're going to be moving on to the next category of this video, which is going to be drama. My first tip is going to be stay out of it. Like, why would you want to be in drama intentionally? Like, drama is interesting if you're outside of it, but you don't need to be the person inside having the drama and going through all that. But if you are having drama with somebody, if you're arguing with somebody, or you're just having some type of disagreement, I would say try and talk to that person one-on-one. You don't need to have some big old fight in front of the whole school and have people gossiping about you. You should honestly just find a private space and just talk to that person and see if you guys can figure it out. If that doesn't work, I would say talk to an adult that you trust, because if the kid is not listening to you, or they're bullying you, or just something more has escalated, you definitely need to bring an adult in, and they will definitely help you out. This could be a parent, guardian, teacher, staff member, also a guidance counselor, really anybody that could help. My first tip, of course, was to stay out of drama, but I just recommend to stay around people that you're actually friends with, and don't be around big friends or anything like that, because those are usually the people that you're gonna have drama with. And let me know if you guys want me to talk more on fake friends or any specific topics, and I might make another video on that, but this is just like general middle school advice. That category went by pretty quick, but the next one is going to be my thoughts on relationships. I would say the hallway crushes are completely normal, and if you don't know what a hallway crush is, it's exactly how it sounds. It's someone that you see in the hallway that you just think is cute and you have a crush on them. You never see them other than that, like you have no classes with them, you have no idea who they are, you don't even know their name. I would say you can just leave it at that, and that is totally okay. But in my opinion, I just don't think you need to have anything more in middle school. If you really want to have a relationship or you really like someone in middle school, I would say date somebody in your grade. You don't want to be the 6th grader dating an 8th grader. Just like stick with your grade. But at the end of the day, dating should not be your biggest priority. Middle school is all about the school and the friendships that you're making and the experiences that you're having, not the boys that you're wasting your time on. Because 9 times out of 10, you can do so much better than that. I feel like I was like losing my voice for a little bit when I was explaining that, but that was all I have for relationship advice. Now we're going to be moving on to my little bonus pieces of advice. These are just random things. They're not really having to relate to a specific topic. They're just things I thought you might want to know. First off, I would say to always have an emergency kit in your bag. If you haven't gotten your period yet, I would say just to have pads on you just in case. This was really helpful to me because I got my period in school, and if I didn't have any supplies, it probably would have been a lot harder. But since I had a pad, I could just put it on and I was good to go. But making a whole emergency kit is so good because you will have everything that you need. My next tip is to make sure you always have your supplies with you. And by this, I mean your school supplies. You don't want to be that person in class that's like, oh, I don't have that with me. Just try and check your bag. Of course, we all make mistakes. I have forgotten stuff on very important days, but just like try your best to pack your bag every day, every night for school, every morning, whenever you want to do it. Double check yourself, even triple check yourself to make sure you have all your stuff. This next one I found on Pinterest. I thought it was a really good tip, and it is to save 30 minutes or more for yourself. School can honestly take over your life if you let it, and if you just save yourself 30 minutes or more so that you can just chill and do what you want to do, you're gonna have a way better time. Everyone's day is different, but after school you might have to do more homework, you might have a football game to go to, you might be in a club or an extracurricular. But I always think it's nice to have some time for me, and you can really do whatever you want with this, whether it's go on a little run outside, bike ride, go to the gym, read your book, journal, just do something that you really enjoy, and this is really going to benefit your overall mental health. In my opinion, a mascara and lip gloss is the duo that you need in your life. It's not the duo that you need, but I feel like it's the most that you need. In my opinion, it's just not necessary to come into school with a full face of makeup. If you have PE, it's honestly gonna look really bad later on anyways, and throughout the day you're going to sweat and your face might get oily, and your makeup just isn't gonna look good in that school air. So just wear some mascara and lip gloss. It's so easy when you're rushing in the morning, and like I said, it's really all that you need. I have 2 more things that I want to tell you guys, so let me tell them to you. First off, it would be to sit in the middle of the class. Some teachers give you assigned seats, and with that I can't really help you. I had assigned seats in some of my classes and it sucked, but in my opinion, sitting in the middle of the room, in like the middle of the rows, is the best thing. When you're in the back, you're more prone to sneaking and going on your phone, not paying attention, always talking to your friends. But if you're in the front of the room, in my experience, I get so bored up there, and I know people are like, oh, you'll pay the most attention, but for me, I really just start zoning out. But when I'm in the middle row, I have a good amount of friends around me. I can do my work, but sometimes I'll also like check my phone as well. It's just like the perfect area, so I definitely recommend, if you can, to sit in the middle. And my last tip, this could have been talked about in the grades category, but it would be to do as much homework as you can in your classes. Because for me personally, I was really busy outside of school and I just don't want to spend all my time on homework. So if I work on some of my homework in my classes and sometimes get it done, it's so much better. And yeah, you guys, that was all of the middle school advice I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. I have a middle school advice video that I posted last year if you're interested in even more tips, but that was quite a bit, so I hope I helped you guys out. Good luck in middle school, you guys. I know you're going to have an amazing time, and make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more of my back to school videos. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys very soon back with another one. Bye. I'm really losing my voice.